to have you join me on Housing Development this week, the only platform where you get reliable information on housing matters. As always, I am Flora Ani, your housing diva. On our lineup today, we'll hear from some stakeholders as they speak on possible solutions to address Nigeria's housing need. Coming up also is the 15th Abuja International Housing Show Exhibition and CEO Forum for high-profile personalities. All this and much more right after the news headline. Let's hook you up with our news desk. I'll be right back.
Experts in the real estate sector have called for government and commercial banks' intervention to bridge housing deficits in Nigeria. Speaking with newsmen on the sideline of Global Property Brokers Conference 2021 in Lagos, Chief Executive Officer GTEX Global, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, said private developers always encounter obstacles in low-cost housing construction due to the high cost of land and documentation. According to him, the reason property owners are not selling land cheaper is that to obtain a certificate of occupancy is exorbitant and cement is not cheap. Asking a developer to build low-cost housing units is to encourage development of substandard housing. Lagos State Government has jump-started its urban renewal scheme on the Island Central Business District with the commencement of road and health infrastructure in Adeniji, Adele and its environs. The proposed project includes a 150-bed new Massey Street Children Pediatrics Hospital, reconstruction and upgrade of Adeniji, Adele and Takwa-Oke Popo Street roads. Massey Hospital was established in 1914 as the first general outpatient clinic and referral center in Lagos State and was converted to a full-fledged pediatrics hospital in 1961. Fresh building blocks were again laid recently in Lagos onto Nigeria mortgage finance subsector when key operatives gathered to unveil a 3 billion naira facility which will fund 30% equity contribution under the National Housing Fund. The fund, known as Mutual Alliance Mortgage Fund, is targeted at bridging the housing deficit and offer hope of realizing the dream of becoming homeowners, particularly for staff of federal parastatals, ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, from the capital markets. Essentially, the facility will be funding the equity contribution of beneficiaries or off-takers under the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria's NHF to the tune of 30%. It was gathered that MDA's staff find it difficult to pay their equity as a single upfront or lump sum due to their moderate earnings. Operatives of the Uyo Zonal Office of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission have arrested a group of 5 suspected land scammers across various locations in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. According to a statement by the EFCC, the 5 suspects were arrested over an alleged scam of 23 million naira. The arrested suspects are Michael Dixon, Pius Akpan, Ime George, Godwin Obong, and Lucy Akpan, whose ages range between 37 and 57.
Coming up as one of the biggest housing estates in Abuja, the Brains and Hammers Bungalow City project, sited on 400 hectares of land with a 6,000 housing units, is an affordable housing project designed to cater to the housing needs of middle and low-income earners in order to decrease the housing shortfall in Nigeria.
This is Bungalow City, an affordable housing unit built by Brains and Hammers Limited, with about 250 hectares of land. The project is divided into 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 has about 8 clusters, phase 2 has about a first cluster, but the project commences with phase 1, cluster 1.
We're building 6,000 houses of 2 and 3 bedrooms, mainly focused on civil servant and individuals. Our partners are Federal Mortgage Bank, We have investors like ARM and Inverness as well, who have sponsored some project on site. Currently, we have about 1,000 houses at various stages of completion. We intend to hand over phase 1 in actually June, inshallah.
Brains and Hammers Bungalow City consists of beautifully designed 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom detached bungalows with master bedroom and rooms all en suite with high-quality finishings, including boys' quarters and ample parking space for each house for a comfortable and serene living.
This is phase 1, or we call it cluster 1 in our illustrations. Where we are right now is where we have the 2-bedroom terrace bungalows. Phase 1 cluster 1 has about 367 housing units, which comprises of about 3 different types of houses. 3-bedroom fully detached bungalows has about 162 housing units. 3-bedroom terrace bungalow has about 145 housing units. And then the last is a 2-bedroom terrace bungalow has about 66 units.
Brains and Hammers Bungalow City is much more than just residential buildings. It is a complete package of commercial, hospitality, infrastructure, and residential development.
All the facilities that you can find in any city or any district, like in Wuse, Maitama, or any other location within Abuja. We're going to have market, we're going to have farmers market, we're going to have abattoir, we're going to have filling stations, we're going to have fire service, police stations, we're going to have spiritual centers where you're going to have mosques and churches, we're going to have plazas, we're going to have corner shops, so many facilities in the estate. We have 2 sets of customers. We have individuals who are self-sponsored. We have a project that is sponsored by FMBN as well. You can subscribe and get a mortgage through FMBN. So the individuals and the mortgage subscribers all fill the form as the first activity in getting the houses. You fill the form, we give you an offer letter. After that, you make initial deposit, then you decide whether you want to go for mortgage or you want to be self-sponsored. If you're doing self-sponsored, either you go for outright or you go for the 9 months payment plan. If you want to go for mortgage, you fill in your form, you pay the necessary contribution, then you submit your application to the PMB and they process and get the money back to us. Once that is done, within 3 to 6 months, you'll be able to get your house.
Subscribers of the Brains and Hammers Bungalow City are given value for their money, as Brains and Hammers are dedicated to ensuring that standards are met and on-time delivery of projects are maintained without minimizing quality, integrity, and utmost client satisfaction.
For more housing news, visit www.africanhousingnews.com. You can also visit our YouTube channel, Housing TV Africa, for steady housing news update. In a country where public housing is acutely shrinking and the housing deficit keeps increasing, some people still find it so difficult to rent an apartment, despite having the funds to get themselves accommodation. Some landlords decline giving their houses out, and the reasons for this vary. Housing development crews sampled the opinions of some Nigerians on Voices on the Street. Let's have a look.
I prefer a family person, to be honest with you, because a single person, you cannot dictate when he's coming in and when he's going out. But as a family person, you know that either the dad is out to work and is going to come back to social time, or the kids are off to school and they're going to come back to social time.
If I were a landlord, I think I would like to rent it to a single person young, knowing that these days the world is moving to be more dynamic. It's difficult for the youth to get accommodation. It would be good to kind of, go with the trends where, just like in offices these days, you have people creating workstations. I think you also need something similar like that for real estate, for homes, so that young people can have a chance to rent a room in a building and start small, maybe pay a monthly rent. I've heard about something called, I think it's called Rent Now, or Rent Small, which just means you can be able to pay monthly. And I think Nigeria needs to encourage the youth to be able to grow, because our future really depends on the youth. And the more youth can get affordable housing, the better they can be more productive in the country.
Most landlords prefer to rent their house to family people because they feel like you can't run because of your family and you wouldn't want your family to be sent out of the house. But as a single person, you can just decide to move out of the house without letting the landlord know and, vandalize their properties and the rest. So, but even at that, even married people too, some of them still don't pay their rents.
I'm more comfortable with a family person because he will have a constraint to an extent. But the basic thing we should look out for is when you are giving your house out to anybody, either individual or family person, we should look at, check their background a little bit to an extent. Know where they work, know where they're coming from. Do your normal basic security check. And you should have a little kind of rules in your building. Now, maybe if it's a compound that have like a mini estate, the gate should be locked maybe from 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock and all that. So anybody coming into that place should identify himself properly.
Welcome back. You're watching Housing Development. Having stable housing policies, the presence of political will and proper implementation of sustainable housing policies and enabling environment are some of the things that are quite fundamental to the attainment of affordable housing goals in any nation. Nigeria is still on its path to achieving the housing needs of her citizens. Now let's hear from some housing stakeholders as they provide solutions to achieving affordable housing in Nigeria.
There has to be strong political will. Housing must be on top of the government agenda. Housing must be given the right resources. And we as Shelter Afrique want to work with the Nigerian government on the supply side through the supporting of public-private partnerships where government comes in with land or subsidized infrastructure, and then we come in with funding and also developers that have the capacity to build 1,000 units of housing and more.
We need to have a policy that addresses first-time home ownership, that is such that when you come out from university, so to speak, as happened in my days where I lived, you're able to say when you're in work, within a short time of starting in your career, you're able to own your own home. So we progressively allow people to do that. But to do that, we need to actually also prepare the ground for it. And that means we need to build houses that are suited to their needs, houses that are what they want, in locations that are suited to their lifestyles so that they can go to work within a reasonable time. We don't need to build the houses 50, 100 kilometers away from their business location.
Moving forward, I think it is government's responsibility to provide the enabling environment and allow the private sector to play in the market. So if things like access to land, titling, infrastructure, those things are dealt with by government and made available, then private sector will come with its funds and provide the houses in a way that meets the needs of the people. There is no point providing housing that people cannot afford or that people cannot live in. It is necessary for you to provide what meets your peculiar housing environment. And housing environment changes from location to location, from people to people, depending on their economic base, the realities, so many factors affect this, and it is necessary for us to now start making housing fit, for the people that require it, even across the states, because what you might need in the north might not necessarily be what you need in the south or in the west. So we need to be adaptable with our housing provision. There's nothing like one size fits all. It doesn't work.
Still on preferring solutions that can move the housing sector forward, how can you kickstart your home ownership process? The MD, CEO of Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Architect Ahmed Dangewa, will speak more on the National Housing Fund and its benefits.
National Housing Fund scheme is a scheme that is being managed by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, and it was established to provide home ownership for Nigerians, especially the low and medium income earners. It's a contributory scheme whereby Nigerians, whether the formal or informal, private or public, they contribute 2.5% of their monthly earnings into the pool of funds that is being managed by FMBN, by Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. Once these funds are collected, it's from this pool of funds that we provide mortgages to Nigerians. As you should know that the pool of funds is refundable. Whoever contributes this money is refundable when you retire, and then your contributions determines what you need to. It gives you leverage to approach the bank to get mortgage loan from the bank. Through the NHF, we are providing NHF loans to either buy or construct or even renovate your own house. We give soft loan to buy your own house at 6% to pay over a period of 30 years up to a maximum of 15 million naira. We give you loan to construct your own house at your own location. As long as you have a CFO, you have a design, you have the costing, then you approach any of our branches, they will package you, and then you get a loan to construct your own house anywhere in the country where you need it. We also give home renovation loans. It's a soft loan that is given, though it's 1 million naira, but people in the rural areas use it not only to renovate, they use it to construct their own houses. You'll find that with 1 million naira in the rural local government, you can acquire a plot of land at 100,000 naira, 50 by 50 size of plot, and then you can build 3 or 4 bedrooms there within a courtyard with their entrance, kitchen, and other conveniences of toilet and kitchen with a courtyard. You own a house. We also give construction finance to developers to build houses for the NHF contributors. Most of the loan that we give to these the developers, they are meant purposely to build houses for NHF contributors. So when you build the houses, you now bring it forward to the bank. We choose a PMB who will package it. Or we go through the rent-to-own is another window, whereby rent-to-own is most of these are funded estates. Once you are packaged, you go in while paying your rental income, the houses is becoming your own. At the end of the day, there will be a time when you have paid the entire, through your rent, you are able to pay for the house and the house becomes yours. So these are some of the products and services the NHF scheme provides.
Hi, I'm Bob Weinsheng, CEO of Ibuild Global. Keep watching the Housing Development Program.
Architect Ahmed Dangewa there, the MD CEO of Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, speaking on the National Housing Fund, its benefits, how to access the fund, and also getting a refund. So why not start your home ownership process today by connecting to FMBN?
What is the name of my grandson?
Suleiman.
That's a good name. May the Almighty preserve him.
Amen.
Now that your family is growing, this is the time for you to start thinking of a house of your own.
Abba, the thought of this has always been on my mind. To build a house now, you need a lot of money, and that is what is holding me back.
Sonny, what you need is a mortgage. NHF mortgage loan. With NHF mortgage loan, you own a house upfront and pay gradually over a long period of time.
Abba, I will go to the FMBN office right away.
Come join us at FMBN and let's shelter Nigeria together.
My name's Robert Hornsby with American Home Builders of West Africa. Keep watching Housing Development Program.
The program is Housing Development. As building technology and construction improve all over the world with emphasis on economy and durability, an indigenous roofing consulting firm, Plusworld, is dedicated to offering the best quality roofing products and services. The MD CEO of Plusworld will speak more on their products and services, as well as Plusworld Academy and social impact programs.
Plusworld have an array of products and services, from project initiation to closing and even post-construction. So we ranging from roof design, installation, waterproofing, anti-condensation, dam-proofing, protection, and a whole lot. Roof restoration, roof maintenance, roof repairs. Presently, we have an academy in Lagos. Then we'll be starting off very soon in Abuja. The academy was born out of concern. We actually interested in breaking the paradox of unemployment and poverty in Nigeria. So we want the academy, the idea behind the academy is to train people that are skilled, and for people, professionals too, that want to upgrade their skills and learn what we'll do, because what we'll do is highly sought after in the, not just the construction industry, but in the oil and gas industry. So we believe if we train people, because basically that's what we have, a dearth of skilled people in the industry. That's why you see that on most construction sites, people still go outside to countries like Ghana and Benin here to get people to work on their job site. But we can actually train our people, teach them about best practices, introduce them to latest technologies in roof maintenance technology and building maintenance, so that they do it just the way it's done abroad, not just so that it could be more organized. And at the end of the day, we'll give them certification that can be verified. The country is giving us so much, yeah, that's my opinion. And I think this is a good time to give back. So a percentage of what we earn annually we put into giving back into the society. So for now, we have 2 projects in our flagship program. We have the 1K School project. The story behind the 1K School project, it's, we believe that there's a correlation when students study under very good environment, under conducive environment, cool, conducive environment, because our products are energy saving and they make your inner room cooler. So that's what we take to the school. So we'll adopt a school, then we'll pick one of the buildings, then we'll adopt it for restoration. So the idea is that the paints that we use, the no-tech coatings that we use, have the ability to reflect back 95% of the heat rail. So that keep the inner room at least 17 degrees than the atmospheric temperature. So it means that these kids will be studying under very good environment. So we've done 2. The COVID didn't allow us to do much. We wanted to do much last year, but we were able to do one in Lagos, Diamonds Mine School. Then we did one Lagelu Grammar School in Ibadan. So those are the 2 schools that we've been able to impact with the 1K School project. Then we have the other one, Your Hub Club, that's the Young Restorers Club. So our target is for kids in primary school and secondary school. The idea is to introduce these kids to do-it-yourself skills, right, while teaching them about climate change. Because our whole idea is that, look, if we adopt this cost-saving processes that we have through our roof restoration program, the amount of waste that will be sent into the landfills will be reduced. And if you reduce the amount, you don't tear your roof because you can afford to do that, and just push that into the dump site and the landfill. So if we introduce kids to recycling and how to fix things around the house, things that are broken down. So you're teaching them early in life. You're catching them young, like you said, to prepare them. Apart from learning those skills, they begin to develop that entrepreneurial mindset.
One of the most prominent features of your house is your roof. Your roof will tell how old your building is. At Plusworld, we pride ourselves in having the expertise and products to bring your roof back to life. While other roofing companies suggest removing the roof, we restore the roof with warranty assurance. Let Plusworld Roofing recoat your old and fading roofs and make your roofs brand new. Our products are eco-friendly and completely harmless to human and the environment. We offer services that will sustain your roof's integrity and by extension, your property value. This includes roof repairs and maintenance for residential, commercial, and industrial properties. Our roof restoration solution saves you up to 70% the cost of replacing your roof. Contact Plusworld Roofing today.
The MVC of Plusworld, John Igbaifua, there catching them young on entrepreneurship. What more can you ask for? I'll be back in a moment.
Show is a very productive event. You come around here to meet over 50,000 persons. It's been very productive. I mean, since we started coming here, there has been a greater brand awareness, and you meet the corporate world, you meet the public, you meet the masses, and then you do business in a great way and in a special way. I think that's part of the reason why we're here.
This is where we'll wrap up today's episode of Housing Development. Thanks for watching. I remain Flora Ani, your Housing Diva. Do have a lovely day.